I'm here with Graham Law, the Rosebuds coach. Graham, if the match goes ahead on Wednesday, what are the keys to taking down Hamilton?
Scuba diving gear. Pitch is under a bit of water just now, but in seriousness, they're a quality team. We'll just need to be very mindful of their key strengths and try and play it our own. We're at home, obviously, so we'll be taking the game to them if possible.
You had a couple of injuries in your last few matches. Are all those players back on deck for this one?
Stu Misalik's still coming back to fitness, and Roger Dowdell has got still a slight hamstring pull, but he trained today. But other than that, it's worked well for us weather-wise. I mean, the downside of it is you get players to a level of fitness, match fitness, that you start to lose, because no matter training indoors, whatever it is we've been doing, it's not match fitness. So, but yeah, we're almost at full strength again.
Well, good luck in the 100-metre swim on Wednesday, and hopefully the weather gets a bit better, and we will see you out there on Wednesday.
All right, cheers.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
Hello and welcome to this round 3 wet weather catch-up match between the Adamstown Rosebuds and Hamilton Olympic. We're almost about to get underway here at Adamstown Oval. I'll go through the team sheets in just a minute as just about to get this one kicked off. Of course, in their opening 2 rounds, Adamstown had a 0-0 draw here against Western in round 1. And in round 2, they were defeated by Charlestown at Lowell Car by 4 goals to 2 after beating them previously in the FFA Cup. And on the other hand, Olympic had a 0-0 draw in round 1 against Broadmeadow Magic, and then a 2-0 win over Edgeworth at home at Darling Street. The sides just getting to feel each other out as it comes across now to Campbell. Goes down the line. And trying to get down the line for them is Brown, cutting inside. Adamstown do well at the back. And it's out now with Gallagher down the line. Back to the captain again, Campbell. Rosebuds get back possession, going all the way back to their captain and goalkeeper, Scott Carter. So we'll just go through those lineups. For Adamstown, number 1, Carter, 7, Yaxley, 3, Harrison, 18, Dale, 23, Kenneth, 8, Polyick, 2, Clements, 5, Bale, 19, Gallagher, 10, Paul, and 9, Bates. And for Hamilton Olympic starting, 21, Cox, 3, Davies, 6, Goodchild, 7, Mooney, 8, Bailey, 9, Swan, 10, Cooper, 12, Swan, 13, Campbell, 17, Brown, and 9, Karotich. So there's the 2 lineups. Of course, Danny Island not in goals tonight, which is interesting. Josh Cox in goals for the away side tonight. Well, as we said, have started the year in fine form. They're already second on the ladder after the opening 2.5 rounds. Some sides have played 3 matches, other sides just the 2. Hamilton Olympic undefeated with the 1 win in the draw, and have put 2 in the back of the net and haven't conceded a goal this season in the NPL. Campbell doing a lot of work early on for Hamilton. Almost a ball through. Gary Kenneth running back, of course, formerly of Dundee United in Scotland and Bristol in England. Been a bit of a journeyman around the United Kingdom. And hopefully this can be a springboard for him to maybe play in the A-League. For Gary Kenneth, a good performance in the NPL for the Rosebuds. There goes Carter going along. Good header from Bailey there. Here comes a long ball out wide now to Brown. Brown. Carter comes out. He's well out of position here, Scott Carter. Here goes Brown. And the ball rolls over the sideline. Good challenge there from the Rosebuds. Give me a throw for Brown. He brings it back for Karotich. Back now for the captain, Campbell. Mason Campbell on the ball now. Goes for a short ball to Cooper. Of course, a lot written about him recently, Reece Cooper. As now with Goodchild who hits a shot. First shot of the night, and it rolls slowly, maybe not that slow, into the arms of Scott Carter. In goals for Adamstown. Here on Bar TV's round 3 match of the round. The replay from, or the wet weather catch-up match from round 3. So Adamstown going into the attacking half for one of the first times this evening. Looking for Kane Goodchild again. Of course, last week, as we spoke about earlier, Adamstown, or their last starts, Adamstown with a 4-2 loss to Charlestown at Lowell Car after they beat them 5-4 a couple of nights earlier in the FFA Cup. As it goes back to Cox in goals. Looks wide now for Swan. And now up the middle of the park. Here comes a chance now for Cooper. Cooper gets around Kenneth. Oh, challenge from Kenneth. He got the ball. And it ricochets off Cooper's shins and over the byline. Going to be a goal kick for Scott Carter. Decent crowd in here at Adamstown Oval tonight for a midweek match. Of course, many expected it probably not to be as packed as this, but got a decent crowd. Of course, the youth fixtures will be played tomorrow night. There's the goal kick, or the goal kick from Carter. Now with Gary Kenneth. Looking over towards the sideline on the far side of the ground. It rolls over in front of Guy Bates, and it's a throw for Hamilton Olympic. Of course, Olympic in their last match with a 2-0 win over Edgeworth at Darling Street, which ended Edgeworth undefeated start to the year in both the FFA Cup and in the NPL. Of course, Edgeworth started with that 4-0 demolition job at home against Charlestown, and the 5-0 demolition of South Cardiff. Chipping ball over the top. Carter comes out, claims it nicely, and does well there. Scott Carter in goals for the Rosebuds. Goes very, very high. Down towards Guy Bates. Of course, played so well against Western. Long ball going down. Here come the Rosebuds. A chance. A little bit of a attempted flick on, but was never going to be a problem in goals for Josh Cox for Hamilton. And over the sideline now off the Rosebuds, and a throw for Hamilton now for Swan. And these two sides have only met twice in the NPL, because last year Adamstown were the year before in 2013 Adamstown were promoted and played their first year in the NPL in 2014, where they played Hamilton on 2 occasions for a win and a loss. Back in round 8 last year, Hamilton with a 1-0 win at home. James Money, who's since moved on. As there's a ball from Campbell. Gary Kenneth does well, but it's again Campbell who's really controlled the ball well and probably got the most touches tonight for Olympic. Here's a ball wide for Brown. Brown goes inside towards Campbell, and Goodchild it was. Couldn't control, and Adamstown. Guy Bates making a run down the sideline. And it's been cut out well there in the end by Hamilton. A throw for Adamstown. And Adamstown's win came in round 17, where they got a 2-1 win at home here at Adamstown Oval. Sean Matthews and Nick Bale with the goal. Of course, Sean Matthews playing for Lake Macquarie this year. And Nick Bale out there tonight in number 5 for the Rosebuds, who was brilliant last year for them. We'll speak about him later. He was one of their star performers last year in a season which probably won't go down as the best in the Rosebuds' history, but they stayed up, and that's the most important bit, staying in this top flight. As ball now through. Here come the Rosebuds down the left, trying to cut inside towards Bates, but pass really didn't have enough power behind it, and it was well cleared over the sideline in the end by Mason Campbell. Ball back from Kenneth. And now all the way back. Adamstown now looking towards the sideline here. Nice ball down the line. Nice ball there from Gallagher. Gallagher finding and cutting into the 18 here. Looking wide for Bates. Guy Bates, what can he do? Can he pull the trigger, Bates? Now back with Paul on the far left side, and Hamilton do well. So they try and come down the left-hand side now. Cutting inside is Goodchild. Good challenge there from the Rosebuds. Of course, Kane Goodchild, the leading scorer in the NPL last year. And we've got a free kick now going the way of the home side. Back now from Yaxley. Goes across to Dale. And now with Kenneth going up the ground. And, well, in the end with Cox. Of course, Danny Island not in goals tonight for Hamilton Olympic. Rosebuds currently sitting 9th on the ladder with that draw and the 4-2 loss at Charlestown. The other side of the ground now with Swan. Trying to get on the line. Should. Couple of swans in the side, Matt and Andrew. And it's going to be the free kick now for Gary Kenneth. Looking long down towards Gallagher. Gallagher turns, goes back towards Paul now. Tries to put it into the 18, but well defended in the end by Bailey. He gets away. Looking down the line out, Gary Kenneth does well to intercept. So a chance here for Adamstown if they're good enough. Looking for Bale, it didn't quite get there. Now the ball forward for Guy Bates. Tries to find Bale, and then he's turned it over. Here come Hamilton on the counter-attack. Looking wide now for Pat Brown. Pat Brown. Done well now. Yaxley with a good challenge, and free kick going the way of Adamstown. Of course, you're watching Bar TV's match of the round here. Adamstown and Hamilton Olympic from Adamstown Oval. Ben Homer in commentary tonight. And it's Gary Kenneth now playing it back. And now it's with Bates. Bates, can he look? Tries to step over it, has a shot. It's over the top of Cox and it's in. Guy Bates with a lovely chipping shot. And Josh Cox was off his line, and the Rosebuds lead. Lovely strike, and that's a lesson for Josh Cox in goals. He was way off his line. Guy Bates just flicked a little chip over his head and into the back of the net, and it's 1-0 to the home team. So Hamilton concede their first goal in 2015. And they're going to have to come from behind if they're going to win this one. Across the ground to Swan now. Turning the ball, good child. Of course, he was very potent last year. Gary Kenneth going down to the line. Playing it forward. Looking now for Gallagher. Long ball and charging after it is Paul. Headed down nicely. Swan going back towards Campbell. And now for Goodchild. I should say Bailey. And now it's with Goodchild. Goodchild coming across the ground. He's turned it over. Looking wide now for Swan. Plenty of space out here on the left. Trying to cut in. He goes towards Cooper. Cooper hits a shot. Scott Carter just bends down and picks it up. And Adamstown trying to consolidate after scoring the opening goal here tonight at Adamstown Oval, leading by 1-0 over Olympic. Goodchild now on the ball. Going back. Referee says no foul. Turning now on the ball is Karotic. Cross to Brown and back to Karotic. And now it's Davies at the back. Tom Davies going down the middle. Olympic turn it over now. It's with Nick Bale. Nick Bale still with the ball. Dale. Chris Dale, and it's been turned over again. This time it's with Mooney. Scored a goal this year for Hamilton, and that ball going behind Brown and over the sideline. A throw now for Adamstown. 13, almost 14 minutes gone. And it's Adamstown 1 leading Olympic 0. Down the line now for Bale. Going up there was Paul. He did really well. Now with Bale looking infield. It's knocked over towards the sideline. Well kept in there by Karotic. Back to Swan now. Swan going forward and looking now for Reese Cooper up front. Out towards the sideline. Running down towards Paul now. Trying to cut inside Swan. Keeps it in and now tries to... Well, a bit of a square to himself there. And now the Rosebuds going forward. Swan, and the foul goes the way, and the free kick going the way of Adamstown on the far side of the field. And it's, you'd expect to be taken by Guy Bates, it looks like, walking over there. Of course, last year, Nick Bale, leading goal scorer for the Rosebuds, 8 goals in 18 appearances for them. And for Hamilton Olympic, Dave Hodgson, 16 games, 7 goals. Not playing tonight. Here's a long ball. Cox trying to get up, and it's been headed over the byline, I think maybe by Gary Kenneth. He collected Callum Gallagher as well. Just checking his head out there was Gary Kenneth. And it's a goal kick now for Josh Cox. So interesting news, Danny Ireland. Late scratching for Olympic. You'd have to say that experience may have cost them the opening goal, you would say, Olympic. Josh Cox just off his line. And Guy Bates with a neat little chip to put Adamstown ahead in about the 10th minute. Now with Swan on the left. Andrew Swan, of course. Matt Swan, last year scoring 6 goals in 18 games. Here goes Andrew. Well intercepted in the end there by Yaxley. Looking down the line. And Guy Bates is after it. Can he get there? Oh, Cox does well. Keep his arms out of it. Goes short to Karotic. Now with Davies. Goes to his captain, Mason Campbell. Karotic again on the ball. Playing a little 1-2. Forward ball. Now, lovely ball. Scott Carter's come out and does well. Really well. Just got there before Pat Brown, which in the end saved the day. Now it's with Yaxley going down this right side. No, he does well. Evades 1 and 2 and 3. And now with Bates now down the right. Here comes Guy Bates. Can he cut in? He does well, but Campbell does even better. And ricochets off his shin over the byline. And a corner now for the Rosebuds on this right or near attacking side. Ball in towards the near post. Swan does well and knocks it over the sideline. Throw for Adamstown. Headed away now. Adamstown with Yaxley now. Goes back towards Dale. Across the ground for Harrison. To the left now, Bates. He's been all over the park, Guy Bates. It's been good for the Rosebuds in their opening fixtures. Trying to cut inside. Swan gives him a bit of a shove and gets the eye of the whistle. And it's going to be a free kick going the way of Olympic. Mason Campbell on the ball. Now for Swan and back to Campbell. Looking long is Campbell, looking for Swan on the far side. I should say looking for Mooney on the far side of the ground. Harrison on the ball. Hamilton really dominating the opening exchanges of this one. And here, away through the middle of the ground. Here come Adamstown. It's now with Paul. What can he do? He comes to Cox. Does really well. Really nice save there from Josh Cox. Adamstown breaking free. It was Callum Gallagher going down the middle of the ground. And a free kick for the Rosebuds. Just on their own side of halfway. Back now for Dale and with Carter. Kenneth. Not going to get the ball. Carter looking long. And now with Mason Campbell. Really been the dominant figure in Hamilton's opening chances and play. Really, they dominated the opening 10 minutes, and Adamstown getting a goal against the run of play. And since then, not too many chances in this one. Scott Carter looking for Guy Bates. And free kick goes the way of the Rosebuds. So 20 minutes gone here on Bar TV's live coverage of the NPL, the round 3 wet weather catch-up match. Ben Homer with you in commentary. Fortunately, Blake unable to get here tonight. And now with Pat Brown. Pat Brown trying to come to the 18. He does so. Nice ball back stick. Good header. Oh, is it found its way in? It hasn't. It's been cleared away. Brown gets in there and Carter dives on the ball. Ricochets off everything there. And in the end, Scott Carter will be very relieved to have dived on that. And somehow that ball hasn't gone in. I don't know how. It ricocheted off about every post there is. And Adamstown keep their lead intact as a ball now down the line for Clements. What can he do? Oh, he concedes the free kick. And Swan now. Oh, well done there from Cooper. Cooper's got plenty of space, and he's got plenty of speed too, Reese Cooper. Tries to evade Gary Kenneth. Gary Kenneth stuck the foot out, and in the end, it ricocheted back to him. Bit of luck there now with Bale. Looking down the line, Bates, he's onside. Defenders weren't happy with it. Bates cuts in, looks back stick. Swan, really no one there for Adamstown. Turning on the ball now is Nick Bale. Got the ball in the corner, and a throw goes the way of Hamilton Olympic. Of course, last year, Adamstown overall had 6 wins, and 4 of those came at home, so definitely home ground advantage last year. Rewarded in a lot of victories for the Rosebuds. This is a ball through now for Cooper. Cooper with a chance. Kenneth with a foot in. Is there a penalty? They're all blowing up. Referee says no penalty. Oh, and Goodchild is blowing up Deluxe. Cooper hasn't seemed to react at all, but Goodchild was furious. He wasn't happy with the sideline official. Now it's Swan. A little bit of heat in the match all of a sudden. Of course, it is a local derby of sorts. The home grounds of both these sides in close proximity geographically. Bit of a tongue twister there. Campbell, Bale, he gets away from Nick Bale. Mason Campbell. Now he goes to Goodchild. Goodchild, he squares it. And it's now with Bailey, now with Campbell. Campbell now to Cooper. It's been quick early. Good challenge from Bailey. Wins the ball. Across the ground, but it's been intercepted by Swan. So a little bit scrappy. Now it's with Mooney. Has a long hit. And that is into the trees. Would have been into Adamstown Public School if the tree wasn't there. Of course, a lot of trees blown over recently in the recent storms and wind, high winds and everything. And we've had all sorts of stuff going on, and that's why we've been unable to play the last 2 rounds. Of course, this weekend we've got a big match coming up. It's Western taking on Maitland, up at Maitland. Their second game at home in the top division. Here goes Bale down the line, looking for Gallagher. Gallagher doing well to hold up the ball. And now with Yaxley. Yaxley back now for Polyak. Kenneth. Kenneth holding it up. He goes down the line to Yaxley. Yaxley plays it across now to Clements. Clements across the ground. Oh, not great control there from Adamstown, but it ricochets into the path of Clements. Clements with a shot on goal, maybe. No, he cuts it across. Well, if he had pulled the trigger, maybe there was a big chance for a goal there for Adamstown, but he went back stick looking for Guy Bates, and it put too much on it. And they get away with that one there to Hamilton Olympic. Really, that first 10 minutes they dominated, and then since then, it's been pretty even. But you'd have to say Adamstown's had the best of the chances. Apart from that penalty shout on Reese Cooper. Yaxley. Now with Bale. Adamstown on the other Adamstown, I should say. Hamilton on the other hand. Last year, their record away wasn't fantastic. They played 9 matches just for the 1 win, 3 draws, and the 5 losses. So, not many points coming out of away. There's a bit, Swan goes down, and they'll win a free kick in a decent position here. I should say Hamilton, but not a great record away. On a total of 27 points on offer last year for... sorry, not last year, and including the first game this year, the 27 points on offer, they've only managed to take 6 of those. Now with Goodchild. Looking wide for Korotic. Cutting back inside, Adamstown do well. Lead up towards halfway now. Campbell goes across towards Swan with a nice chest down. And now with Reese Cooper. Back from Davies to Cooper. And now with Mooney. Still with Mooney. Looking towards Cooper. To dive in. Doing well there at the back for Adamstown was Harrison. Up forward now with Guy Bates, but he's got blue shirts all around him. Does well to hold it up. Plays it back towards Gallagher. Now they've turned it over with Goodchild. He hasn't got the best speed, but here he goes. Goodchild, Kane Goodchild with a shot just past the far stick. From this angle, it's hard to tell how much, but it missed by, but it wasn't much. Yaxley now. Back to Clements. Oh, bit of a poor challenge there from Brown. And Adamstown are going to win a free kick. So 27 gone. Adamstown 1, Hamilton 0. Round 3 replay match in the NPL here on Bar TV. Now with Gary Kenneth across the ground towards Dale. It's really a critical match, this one, for both sides. Adamstown a loss and keeps him down the bottom of the ladder. And for for Hamilton, a loss just sort of puts a little bit of a stopper to that great start to the year. With Swan now. Swan across to Brown. Can Brown put one in at the back stick? Up goes Goodchild. He couldn't get a head to it. Now with Mooney. Mooney loses it to Clements, and he's going to win a free kick. No cards yet from the referee. Probably not anything deserving one yet. And it's going to be a free kick taken by Dale on the far side of the field for Adamstown. Carter looking long and over halfway. Takes it instead. Hamilton appealing for the free kick. Crossing out of Swan. Goes forward, but instead only goes as far as Clements. Now across to Paul. Matt Paul, can he put a ball in? Looking back stick. Up goes Cox, and he does well. It's been good, Josh Cox. Apart from that goal that was scored against him, he's been pretty solid in goals instead of Danny Ireland. Big shoes to fill he has. That's Goodchild trying to get around Dale. And in the end, all he could do was shove Goodchild to the ground and winning a free kick for the former Charlestown striker. Cross to Swan. Bit of a hospital pass, but he does a great job to head it away towards Brown on the left. Looking back post. Up they rise, but no one gets a touch on it. Now with Mooney. And it's run over the byline. Goal kick now for Scott Carter. No corners for Hamilton yet in the game. Adamstown just with that only corner on this near side on the right. So coming up to 30 minutes gone in the first half. Adamstown 1 leading Hamilton 0 here on Bar TV. Throw going the way of Adamstown now. See if they can go on the attack. Oh, bit of a head clash there. Referee only giving the throw to Adamstown. Down the line and towards Guy Bates. And a throw now for Hamilton. Amid the cries of the Olympic players. Of course, last year, Adamstown last year averaging 1.3 goals for and average conceding 2 1/4. And for Hamilton, they averaged a little bit more, 1.6 goals last season, and pretty miserly in defence, only the 1.4 conceded. So more goals scored last year than conceded for Adamstown. Now with Cooper looking back stick towards Mooney. Carter, great outstretch of the arms. And he gets down and rolls it out towards Dale. And this year, the goal scorers, 2 goals scored by both sides in 2015. Nick Bale, 2 for Adamstown, and Krotkich and Mooney, 1 each for Hamilton. Out to Mooney, of course, goal scorer in their second round. Looking back stick. Well done from Gary Kenneth. He does well. Now it's Swan. Swan going down and winning a free kick in a promising position for Olympic. Players getting into it here. Really getting a little bit of heat in the game of late. Pretty even, the match of late. Hamilton dominating the opening exchanges, then Adamstown really came into it. And then last 5 to 10 minutes, it's been very, very even. Here goes Mooney. What can he do with the free kick? He hits it in the end. Not enough dip and over the bar, and a goal kick for Scott Carter. Looking long and over the top, out comes Josh Cox. Does well. Throws it out towards Campbell. Of course, a reminder that this weekend, this Sunday on Bar TV, we've got a match between Hamilton and Western. Big one from Cook Square Park. Long ball now from Bailey. Looking wide for Mooney, trying to get inside. Defence has been good tonight from Adamstown. Got an offside against Guy Bates here from the official on this near side. Of course, Adamstown, the Rosebuds here are initiating a bit of a raffle. Tickets for the raffle, $5 each, and they're trying to get all the local clubs involved. For every book of tickets sold, that's $3 to the club that sells them. So a big chance to get involved. First prize is 4 return economy tickets to England and 4 tickets to see a Manchester United game plus a $5,000 accommodation allowance. Second prize is a Sharp 60-inch full HD LED LCD 3D capable smart TV. Hopefully you guys all understand what that is. May need some of the technology gurus to explain. I think it's just a 3D smart TV. And then third prize is a Canon EOS 700D digital SLR camera with EFS 18 to 55mm single lens kit. So some great prizes on offer if you want to get involved. So it's drawn in Saturday, the 26th of September, as here goes Goodchild. Goodchild into the 18. Comes to Scott Carter, and Hamilton are back in the game. Kane Goodchild on the spot again in 2015. He opens his account, and it's level at Adamstown Oval. Well, he does it again, doesn't he, Kane Goodchild? 13 goals last year, and 1 out of the 3 games already this year. Which, if my maths can serve me correctly, that's 14 in his last 20 games in the NPL, which isn't a bad strike rate at all. Bates back to Yaxley now. So if you want to get involved, contact Adamstown FC, Adamstown Rosebuds, and it's all for, it doesn't matter what colour jersey you wear, we are football. So fantastic incentive and initiative from Adamstown to get that going, and great for the local club. So $3 for every book sold to the local club that sells those. So any club can get involved, and that is fantastic news. And you can even, and as I said, you can win a trip over to Europe. And if Manchester United's your team, you'll be loving every minute of it, because you get 4 tickets to see a Red Devils match, which would be an awesome experience, and $5,000 accommodation allowance. So you can go, and if you don't, 4 of you, if you're not staying there too long, you can maybe get some 5-star accommodation, which would be pretty awesome. Also, we're going to talk about later in the second half about something you can get involved with from this latest earthquake in Nepal, which has been horrific, to say the least. We'll be talking and telling you how to get involved in that. But Hamilton, here they come. Here's a lovely ball for Brown. Brown, can he get around Gary Kenneth? Just gets there in the end. Does really, really well. The big Scotsman. And plays it down the line. Reece Cooper over the sideline. And one thing I should mention, which I won't be able to ask Blake because he's not here, is that cowbell from Hamilton Olympic. If there's anything behind that. So if you're tweeting or anything, Hamilton Olympic, I didn't say United, did I? Hamilton Olympic, with that cowbell that was just going off. What's the reason behind that? Please. I'm sorry if I offend anyone for that, but the cowbell. Just want to know what that's all about. Ball down the middle. Just ignore my ignorance. If that makes sense. The ball down now for Nick Bale. Bale looking down the line. Here comes Guy Bates. Can he get it before it runs over the byline or before Mason Campbell gets to him? He did, but Mason Campbell got a little bit of a toe in, apparently according to the official, not according to Mason Campbell. And it's going to be a throw for Yaxley. Swan has a bit of a miss kick. Now a ball back post from Pauliak, and Swan on the far side. Tom Davies looking long. That one passing over the moon. Got a big full moon tonight. We had Sugarloaf up at Western last game we had, and now we've got a full moon tonight. So we've got some great views here on Bar TV. Great action coming up this weekend. Some big clashes in the Rugby League and Rugby Union. Rugby Union is going to be a cracker with Wanderers up against Southern Beaches. So get that one on Saturday. And the reason I'm promoting it is because the NPL... Oh, hang on. We've got a bit of Union going on here. Talking about the Union, and Mooney and... can't get the number plate of the Rosebuds player. Having a little bit of a scrummage. Long ball towards Yaxley now. Ball down the line for Bale. Bates. Campbell with the hand up. Maybe a questioning the offside. It wasn't at all. Bates looking back post, but too much on that one. And the ball knocked up towards the sideline at halfway, where it's picked up by Jordan Harrison, thrown it, and Adamstown looked like they're just going to slow it down a bit here. Yeah, so as I said, the reason I'm promoting that big game on Saturday for the Union is because the NPL's on Sunday. So make sure you get yourself nice and cozy, Sunday, 2:30, a local derby. There's going to be fireworks aplenty, just like here tonight at Adamstown Oval. This is a local derby of sorts. Swan now, looking down towards Pat Brown. Brown now, nice ball. Question about offside from Kenneth, and the sideline official obliges. Now we've got a cameraman, Jack, here. So Jack, can you just get a shot of the moon for everyone that isn't at the ground, watching on their phones? Of course, we know plenty of people. We're not going to get. We're gonna get a shot of Kenneth. Maybe at halftime. We'll have to see. Here is Gary Kenneth, looking long. And now with Reese Cooper. Yaxley playing it back to Pauliak. And Mooney does well. Maybe not. Let's turn it over. Ball down the line towards Bates. Crowd wanting a whistle. Not going to happen. Campbell going into the corner and does well. So a throw going the way of the Rosebuds. You're watching Bar TV here. The round 3 washout match replay. 1-1 after 41 minutes at Adamstown Oval. Ben Homer in commentary. We'll have Blake back on hand on Sunday for all his expert analysis. As he goes, Yaxley, can he cut it back? He does so to Bates. Bates looking further. Oh, infield, but there was no one at the back post. It was a lot further back. I think it was Paul at the back post. Further back from the back stick. Ball into the 18. And Cox does well. So Guy Bates and Kane Goodchild with the goals. Not a bad 2 to get on the score sheet. Oh, good challenge there from Gary Kenneth. Reese Cooper was away. Crowd now getting into it. And Gary Kenneth, really nice challenge. Stopped Reese Cooper in his tracks. As we approach half-time, we'll do our best at half-time to try and get those scores from the other grounds. Of course, some other big matches going on tonight. Maitland and the Jets Youth, I believe. And I know that it is South Cardiff taking on Western in the round 3 match, which we thought may be going ahead, but in the end, just the ground at South Cardiff was too wet. There's a long clearance over the sideline, over towards the cars. As I said before, a really decent crowd in tonight here at Adamstown Oval. Mason Campbell now. Back towards Mooney. You'd have to say Adamstown, although it's only their 3rd match of the year, probably more desperate for the 3 points tonight. Hamilton in 2nd spot, but a loss for Hamilton tonight, and they could slip down the ladder over the course of tonight and on the weekend. And after all the rain, this ground's held up pretty well. A few divots you can see out there, but all in all, it looks much better than Rockwell Automation Park did at the back end of that Western Jets Youth game on the weekend. Across the ground now to Nick Bale. What's he got now? Guy Bates making a run. Down the line, he does so. No flag from the sideline official. Swan and Campbell both went up. And it's going to trickle towards and over the sideline. And it's going to be a throw for Olympic just before half-time. Last little raid for them. I must say, going into half-time, you'd have to say level pegging is a fair result on the opening half's play. Now with Davies. Now with Cooper. He's been really good in this opening half. Nice ball over the top. Oh, great foot in there from Clements. Just got the foot up. Stopped the ball going to Mooney, because if it went past Clements, I should say it was Jordan Harrison, went past him, it was all but a goal for Simon Mooney. as Reece Cooper. He's not going to have the speed to rein that one in. Nick Bale. Bates. They've been pretty good, these two, tonight. Bale's running infield. Bates looking for him. Nick Bale. Oh, good work there from Swan. Does brilliantly well. Andrew Swan to get the leg in. And Adamstown with their second corner of the evening. At Adamstown Oval. Can they find one right on the stroke of half-time? Be a killer blow for Olympic. Looking back stick. Oh, straight to the keeper, Cox. He dropped it, fumbled it, picked it back up, and it's half-time here at Adamstown Oval. So Adamstown Rosebuds 1, Hamilton Olympic 1 at half-time. And we are going to run into the half-time show. We'll just go through what the goals in the opening half. It was Guy Bates first up for Adamstown. And then for Hamilton Olympic, it was Kane Goodchild who put Olympic back into the game. So half-time, it's Adamstown 1, Hamilton 1. We've got the half-time show coming up right now. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the halftime show. Of course, we're going to be reviewing all the action from round 2. We've had a big gap in NPL action because of those wild storms. And we only had the one game in round 3, and that was Broadmeadow getting a 4-1 win over Edgeworth at Jack McLaughlin. How did that one how did that one go?
Obviously, Broadmeadow opened the scoring through Dino Fajovic. He scored his 5th goal of the season. Josh Evans headed home an equaliser for Edgeworth to make it 1 apiece. They went into half-time at 1-1. In the second half, it was just the Cal Bradbury show. He scored 2 goals in 5 minutes and won a penalty that Peter Haynes converted. Magic winning that one 4-1 and going to the top of the table.
So an undefeated Broadmeadow Magic after 3 rounds for them. We're going to have a look at the other round 2 results. So back to round 2. Hamilton, a 2-0 win over Edgeworth at Darling Street Oval. A good win for them there. And Charlestown, they've been whipped by every tipster and every person predicting how this NPL is going to finish this year. Are they as poor as what everyone's saying, getting their first win over Adamstown?
No, definitely not. Obviously, they had a tough start with 2 losses, one in the NPL, one in the FFA Cup, but they've showed what they can do. They're a good side. They won't give up. They've got a few quality players and they've got a fair bit of depth. Obviously, at the moment, they've got a few players injured and missing through work commitments. But I don't think they deserve to be tipped as low as they have been in recent weeks.
Of course, Adamstown with plenty of players out injured from, I think it was something like 6 first-team players injured. The other game, Western 2-1 over Lambton. Of course, we got some interesting news out of that one. Dave Tancheski revealed that Joe Wheelhouse will be out for up to a month with a quad tear. So, bit of interesting information out of that one. But if you want to see the highlights, they're on the Bar TV website, YouTube channel, I should say, and the interviews with Trevor Morris and Dave Tancheski. The other game, the 4th game of a big Sunday in round 2, South Carter fought back for the 2nd week in a row from 2 goals behind to draw 3-3 with the Jets youth, and they just never say die, Blake.
No, they don't. They've come, as you said, come from behind twice. 2-0 down against Maitland, 3-1 down against the Jets youth. Obviously, in that game against the Jets youth, Mitch Wallace and Dean Kelly were the 2 scorers in the second half to bring them back to 3-3. That's one thing that will be repetitive this season in the NPL. South Carter fighting till the death, not giving up. They're a hard team to get points against.
And the final game of the round was Maitland against Broadmeadow, a big 5-1 win up at Maitland for Broadmeadow, and not a happy homecoming, their first game in the NPL, Blake, for Maitland.
No, a sour point with Dennis Fajovic, who's Maitland's left back, conceding 4 against his brother Dino, who's obviously firing for Broadmeadow Magic. Not a happy homecoming, as you said, first home game in 12 years. Magic, though, were just too classy, and I think they will be in many games this season.
Now, we did have an interesting article in the Newcastle Herald during the week. Craig Carey wrote about how relegation is destroying or undermining the NPL. What is your opinion on relegation in the Northern New South Wales NPL?
I'm sitting on the fence with this one. I see both flips of the coin. Obviously, we want to develop good young players through the ranks and, see them go on into A-League and beyond. I think relegation, on the other hand, provides excitement. It forces the clubs to, go into the season with win at all costs attitudes, and I think it's a good thing. I think it's a very good thing, and it gives the teams in the new FM league the chance to have something to play for, to come up and to play against the best teams in Newcastle.
Yeah, that's fantastic for those sides to come up and yeah, as you said, challenge against those best sides in Newcastle. It was a big round 2 of action, and that's a wrap up from round 2. So it's time for the ladder time here on the Halftime Show, and we're going to have a look at how the teams sit going into round 4. Of course, Magic and Edgeworth, the only sides to play 3 games. They're up the top of the ladder, undefeated, as well as Hamilton and Western. Of course, South Cardiff also undefeated. How does that ladder look to you, Blake, in comparison with how you think it'll finish?
It's very interesting. I expect 3 of those top 4 teams to be remaining there at the end of the season. I won't say who they are. I probably don't even know who they are, but 4 of the biggest teams this season, and I expect at least 3 of them to be there, actually. One interesting fact, I know this will go to air on Sunday, but if Broadmeadow win their game on Friday night, and if they have won their game, they will be on 10 points, which is more than double than what they finished on last season, and that's just after 4 of the 18 games.
Yeah, worry for Maitland early on. Of course, they're down in the red zone, never a good zone. As you said, Blake, 3 of those sides. If three of those sides don't make the finals, there's going to be a lot of soul searching at those clubs. You'd have to think. Time to go to New FM Division 1. It's always interesting to see what's going on down in the doldrums. Valentine FC knocked over Lake Macquarie in the last round, 3-2. Roosters not crowing recently. Of course, they were up the top last time we saw. Now they're back in second. So how do you think it's going to turn out in the last more than half of the season, Blake?
I think Valentine's going to be up there in the green come the end of the season. Last year, they only lost 2 games. Usually, going into a season, the coach would tell his men, we lose 2 games this season and we get promoted, but it wasn't to be the case as Maitland only lost 1. So a very interesting stat from last year. But yeah, I do expect Valentine to be a big challenger. Obviously, Lake Macquarie will be up there as well, but I'm picking Valentine.
Well, that's going to be an interesting one to have a close eye on, Blake, sort of looking out the back window at the new FM division, because there's going to be some great battles going on there. I think, as you said, it's really only going to be a battle between Valentine and Lake Macquarie, if we're going to be honest. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think that's a fair statement. Just like last year, everyone sort of said it wasn't a 2-horse race because of the way Bell Swans were hanging about back in third, but I think it was a 2-horse race last year, and I expect it to be again this year come the end of the season.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting year in the new FM division. Now, we are going to say goodbye for this show, but we'd like to say thank you to all the SES volunteers, and as we go out today, here's a quick little clip to say thank you to all those SES volunteers that have helped throughout the week of wild weather we experienced. See you next week.
It's been a tough few weeks in the Hunter, a few weeks that have now become etched into our history.
Homes that have been lost in this. There's obviously a number of roofs that have been taken off, and we've also lost life. It is a huge storm event that is wreaking havoc across New South Wales at the moment.
Yet through the driving rain, the gale-force winds and the floodwaters, an army of people have assembled to ensure the Hunter region is returned to normality.
This is a weather event that has come upon us. It is more severe than was probably anticipated.
Whether it be the countless SES volunteers, both locally or from interstate, that dropped everything to tie down tarpaulins or cut away trees, or the thousands of Ausgrid workers who have worked around the clock in some of the most horrendous conditions to restore power to over 200,000 homes. The RFS, police, ambulance and fire and rescue New South Wales, and most importantly you, the community. And through it all, no one complained, because we all knew a story of someone who had lost more than we had, and they needed the help of the community more than we did. So here at Bar TV Sports, we want to say a massive thank you to everyone who pitched in and did their bit through one of the most testing natural disasters of recent times. Thank you.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. For everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
I'm here with Graham Law, the Rosebuds coach. Graham, if the match goes ahead on Wednesday, what are the keys to taking down Hamilton?
Scuba diving gear. Pitch is under a bit of water just now, but in seriousness, they're a quality team. We'll just need to be very mindful of their key strengths and try and play it our own. We're at home, obviously, so we'll be taking the game to them if possible.
You had a couple of injuries in your last few matches. Are all those players back on deck for this one?
Stu Alex still coming back to fitness, and Roger Dowdell has got still a slight hamstring pull, but he trained today. But other than that, it's worked well for us weather-wise. I mean, the downside of it is you get players to a level of fitness, match fitness, that you start to lose, because no matter training indoors, whatever it is we've been doing, it's not match fitness. So, but yeah, we're almost at full strength again.
Well, good luck in the 100-metre swim on Wednesday, and hopefully the weather gets a bit better, and we will see you out there on Wednesday.
All right, cheers.
So we're almost about to get underway for this round 3 wet weather catch-up match between Adamstown Rosebuds and Hamilton Olympic. 2nd versus 9th. And we're back underway in the second half. Quick ball away now too. And the Rosebuds will go down the left side. Free kick early on for Hamilton. Bit of noise here at Adamstown Oval. A really good crowd, and so congratulations to everyone that's come out here tonight to Adamstown Oval. It's been a great atmosphere for this one, and it's been a close, hard-fought contest, 1-1 after the opening minutes of the second half. Doesn't seem to be any changes that have been made at halftime that I can see out there. Gary Kenneth looking down the line, but no one there for the Rosebuds. Of course, first half goals to Guy Bates and Kane Goodchild for Hamilton Olympic, getting his first goal of the year. After last year, maybe the first of many. Of course, 13 goals in 17 games for Charlestown last year. It's way now with Campbell. And probably the best stat of all that I've come up with from Kane Goodchild's performance last year, and probably the most damning, is that Charlestown did not lose a game last year when he scored. So if that's the same for Hamilton, they're on the road to victory tonight. Here's Gary Kenneth with a clearance across towards Nick Bale, who was the Rosebuds equivalent of Kane Goodchild, scoring 8 goals in 18 games. Throw in now, Gary Kenneth on the ball. Cleared up the line. In the end, it's intercepted by Swan. Swan, great run, trying to get into the 18. Andrew Swan doing well. In the end, dispossessed, and it goes up the line. And they'll get it back, Hamilton. And Kane Goodchild, of course, leading scorer in the NPL last year in northern New South Wales. Mooney going back to Mason Campbell. And Hamilton's Dave Hodgson, who also isn't playing for them this year. He scored 7 goals in 16 games last year, and when Hodgson scored, they had a record of 75%. They won 75% of games when he scored, and when he didn't score, they won 39% of games. Hamilton having a poor season last year by their standards, 6th place. Just one spot outside the finals and 1 point from Edgeworth, who were in 5th spot. So just missing out on the finals for Hamilton last year. A big gap back to South Carter, 5 points, who finished the season in 7th. So maybe not as poor a season as it looked in the end for Hamilton. And now with Dale looking across to Yaxley. Rosebuds down the line. Controlling possession there well. Goes across now to Clements. Clements trying to find his way into the 18. He tried to go to Bates, but Swan cut it out nicely. Harrison now. Made a great defensive effort in the first half, stopping Simon Mooney from getting a shot on goal. He did well. Adamstown's defence pretty good, apart from Kane Goodchild's run. They've actually, when Hamilton have been right in the attacking zone, Adamstown's defence has been pretty good. It's been through the breaks that Adamstown had most of their chances. Now here's a ball looking back and shot. Oh, almost a chance there from Clements. Back for Harrison. Gary Kenneth now. Looking a wide ball for Bates. Bates controlled it nicely, but in the end, the sideline official said he was offside. Hands to his head and saying, yeah, I don't know about that. It's always hard when you're on the field to judge if you're just onside or not. Now it's Tom Davies going to Swan on the left. Down the line, playing a 1-2 Swan. Now with Cooper, Reese Cooper at speed, those short footsteps. Headed away towards the byline by Dale. Carter going back. And in the end, it's gone over the byline. It's going to be a corner kick for Hamilton, I believe. Just checking. Yes, it will be a corner for Hamilton. And strolling over to take it is Pat Brown. on his left foot, goes near stick. Oh, great save from Scott Carter. Just flapping that one away. Inside the near stick. It may have even been creeping in. It was curling in off the left foot from Brown. It was a well-positioned corner in the end. He looks for it again. This time not his best effort. And getting up is Yaxley. Now on the edge of the 18 with Mooney. Running over towards the sideline. Karotkic with the throw-in. Now for Mooney. Looking towards the middle of the box. Well controlled in the end. And Pat Brown on that. And then Gary Kenneth knocking it over the sideline. So Hamilton, bit of pressure here. Just after half-time. Putting some pressure on the home side. A bit like the opening exchanges of the first half where Hamilton dominated. And didn't get a goal. Adamstown got one against the run of play through Guy Bates. Here's Reece Cooper. Looking back post. And in the end, Mooney couldn't get there. Scott Carter got there first and did really well. Hands above his head, AFL style. Grabbed the ball out of the air. Bates now. Down the right-hand side, Guy Bates. Steps over it. Does well to get past Swan, but in the end couldn't control. And a goal kick now for Josh Cox in goals for Hamilton Olympic. Of course, Danny Ireland not here tonight. Playing in this one. On the bench is Daniel Eisenhower for Hamilton. Gary Kenneth now up over halfway. Guy Bates trolling, trying to hold off Mason Campbell. Trickles over the sideline, and it's a throw going the way of Adamstown. So 7 minutes gone, or 52 gone in the game. 7 gone in the second half, 52 overall. And it's Adamstown 1, Hamilton 1. Round 3 match of the round. Thanks to everyone tuning in here on Bar TV. Of course, Twitter, tweet us at Bar TV Sports, or on Facebook on Bar TV Sports. There's a ball looking for the near stick, and it's going to be a corner. Charging over is Paul, who's going to take it. Matt Paul for Adamstown. See if they can do the same thing they did in the first half. Concede all the field position and territory early on, and then snatch one against the run of play. Not with that corner. Nothing's going to happen. And Paul going two. Not enough on that one. And header away from Swan. Now well held off. Swan doing well. Looking for Cox. Cox does well at the back post. Rolls it out to Mooney. Mooney now. Oh, Mooney does well. Now with Goodchild. Scoring the goal earlier for Hamilton. Ball wide. Scott Carter coming out. And in the end, it didn't really matter because there was an offside. And a free kick will go the way of Scott Carter's side. It's Pat Brown charging through. Just was past the last defender. Of course, tomorrow a cracking match on in the morning in the Champions League. Barcelona against Bayern Munich. That's going to be a mouth-watering affair at Barcelona, as Josh Cox dives on that one. So a feast of football over the next few days as all the local competitions come to an end. All the European competitions come to an end, I should say, and the local A-League as well. Across the ground now. Nice ball from Jacob Bailey, looking for Swan. Cutting inside now, Swan. Back to Bailey. Bailey squaring it up. A hit from long range. Sprayed wide there from Mason Campbell, it looks to be. Maybe not Mason Campbell, maybe Jason Karotkic. Scoring a goal in their last start win, Hamilton. That 2-0 win over Edgeworth. Of course, Nick Bale, another key player for Adamstown tonight. When Adamstown didn't have the greatest years, we'll go back to the play now, and it's with Cooper again. Very quick footwork down the right. Now with Swan. And too much weight on that pass. Going over the sideline. And a throw will go the way of Jordan Harrison. So Nick Bale last year, when he scored for Adamstown, they had a winning percentage of 43% compared to their overall percentage of 33%. There's a good shot back to Bailey. Bailey with a long-range effort, sailing over the goals of Scott Carter. And going back to Nick Bale, they were undefeated, an undefeated percentage, so a win or a draw in 57% of their matches compared to an overall of 50%. And he was the 5th leading scorer in the NPL in the Northern New South Wales Division last season. So a big year for Nick Bale. And as we saw from as we were looking at the goals scored and conceded last year, Hamilton definitely a better defensive side than Adamstown last year, and marginally a better attacking side. Adamstown just keeping the 2 clean sheets last year, and Adamstown the 4. So definitely on that stat, they were better defensively, but there'll be no clean sheets tonight for either side. Hamilton with 2 before tonight's match. Danny Island in goals with those 2 clean sheets. Unfortunately not tonight for Josh Cox. It's Gary Kenneth after it. Looking back post. There's a chance here for Mooney. It sailed past the back stick. In the end, it was a bit too far from Mooney. And he couldn't get a foot to it. Scott Carter's going to have the goal kick, and it looks like Adamstown are going to make a change here. It's going to be Niakev, who's about to come on. He's the ball heading back towards the Adamstown goal now. Turning on the ball is Brown. Brown with that left foot. Oh. And they've done well through Dale there. Adamstown at the back. Now for Swan. Swan cutting inside. Looking towards the middle of the box. Gary Kenneth. He's been brilliant tonight, Gary Kenneth at the back. Stable as always. And what would you expect from a former Scottish international? Played a few Europa League matches as well to boot, so, and played a couple of friendlies against Lionel Messi, who will be in action tomorrow. Dundee United just outside the Europa League positions back in Scotland, actually. So looking at their next few matches, they've got a few matches to see if they can make it into the Europa League qualifying rounds for next year. So it's going to be Niakev coming on and coming off on the far side of the ground. We'll just get the number plate, but it's an early substitution, as they normally are, 58 minutes into the game. So Niakev on, and it's an interesting move because Nick Bale has come from the ground. So Adamstown leading scorer last year and their leading scorer currently. And he's heading off down towards the tunnel here, Nick Bale, so hopefully no injury for him. He's gone straight down the tunnel. He's come off, grabbed a water bottle and gone down the tunnel. So we'll see. I'll check what's happening there. Hopefully no injury for him. We'll see if he comes out with ice on or actually comes back out to the bench at all. Guy Bates, the goal scorer tonight. So Adamstown, both scorers tonight getting on the board for the first time this year. Kane Goodchild and Guy Bates. And 2 players that you would have expected to get on the board earlier in the NPL this year. And as I was saying before, that stat that we had, Kane Goodchild with Charlestown, they didn't lose a game when he scored last year, so that's going to be interesting for Charlestown this year. And Scott Smith, to see how he goes this year. I think the season he has will define how Charlestown go this year. If he has a terrific year, they could find themselves up in finals positions. As here's Guy Bates down the right. Oh, has a long shot. In the end, it actually wasn't far from coming back onto the field. Down near the corner post on this side of the ground. Really miscued it, and that's going to be a goal kick for Josh Cox. So 1-1, Bar TV, 60 minutes gone in the game. 15 gone in the second half. And Ben Homer with you in commentary tonight. Oh, he's a back heel gone wrong from Mooney. And it's a throw going the way of Adamstown. Well, I thought, gee, that's a tough call from the ref. I honestly thought that came off Adamstown. Throw from Harrison, bit of a pull down from both. No whistle from the referee. And now there is a free kick going to Hamilton. No yellow cards yet. It's very, very interesting. 60 minutes hasn't been a dirty game at all, so that would explain why. Across the ground now from Bailey towards Swan. Cuts inside Niyakev. Swan back to Bailey. Swan again. It's a Swan and Bailey show now with Davies. Tom Davies looking up, looking towards the other Swan. This time it's Matt Swan going down the right. Cuts inside to Kane Goodchild. Goodchild doesn't have the best control there. He's after it. Oh, he does well, Kane Goodchild, to get back possession. What can he do? Oh, what a challenge from Kenneth. You're the crack. A big challenge from Gary Kenneth. Who? Kane who? He doesn't know who Kane Goodchild is. He wasn't here last year in the NPL in Northern New South Wales. He treated him like that as well there. Big challenge. Thundering challenge. Heard the noise from everywhere. Great to have you tuning in tonight here on Bar TV. Pretty nice night here. Wearing a t-shirt here at Adamstown Oval. Cool enough to... perfect conditions, really, for a game of football. And here's Brown looking back post. Yaxley does well. Now away to Niyakev. He's got his own fan club out here just to my right. Great to add a bit of atmosphere here tonight. Probably hear him, actually. Now coming across the ground. Here's a chance, an effort which is deflected. And Scott Carter gets down low and releases Clements. Oh, gee, there's a card here, surely. There's got to be a card. It's Cooper who's running away from the referee. The referee decides to chase after him. And they try to play it on quickly. And now the referee's going to say, hang on a sec, wait for me to write it in my book, and then we can get back underway. It was Pauliak that tried to play it on quickly, and we've got a double change. Looking like it's going to come for Hamilton, Jamie Burns, and Alex Serapas, which is going to be an interesting one for me to say. Jacob Bailey with 2 goals last year from his 10 matches for Hamilton. Here's a chance, 3-on-2 now for Hamilton. Well, here's a worry for Adamstown. They're going to have to get back here fast. Looking over towards Reese Cooper. Reese Cooper. Oh, what a challenge that is. Look at the crowd. Dan Clements flying in. And that's a moment in this game that coaches love, especially Graham Law. He's run from down in the attacking end to make that challenge. Team player there from Dan Clements. Looking back post, the header has hit the bar as the post and gone out. So all that hard work from Dan Clements in the end almost undone by that header looked to be from Mason Campbell. And here come the changes from Hamilton. Dan Clements flying across the ground for that challenge. That'll be in the highlights reel at the end of the day. Goal saver, Reese Cooper. And Gary Kenneth coming to the sidelines now as well. So it's going to be Mooney coming off the ground. So Brown is off the ground as well. Mooney and Brown are on the ground, set up pass. And Jamie Burns as well. Sarepa, I think we're getting. So Sarepa. I've got to get these names right. Now on the ball at Povjek. Now Clements. That wonderful challenge plays in Jordan Harrison now. Down the line for Bates. And they take advantage of that great save. Oh, Cox! Oh, he fumbles and they get away with it in the end. Almost into the last 20 minutes of the game. 25 to go. 65 gone. These are the big moments. Can we see a big goal? Gary Kenneth looking along. Bates is offside. Whistle a flag up on the far side. Not impressed. Guy Bates again. And now the ball with Jamie Burns, who's just come onto the ground. Gary Kenneth. Adamstown's defence have been wonderful tonight. Just that couple of breaks that have been made. That's been the only chances. And here goes Yaxley now down the right. Tries to get to the 18. Yaxley with a shot. Deflecting over the bar. And over the goals. And it's going to be a corner kick for Guy Bates, who's running over there. So the tempo just going up. A goal now is the difference between no points and 3 points for this round. And it could mean all the difference at the end of the year, a match like this. Viewers starting to increase here on Bar TV. Tell your friends, tell your family, get around the iPad, the computer, or your TV. If you got it up there, it's going to be a cracking last 20 and a bit minutes here. Going down the sideline is Jamie Burns. Over the sideline, bit of a challenge there from Dale. And the referee says, let's play it on. Now with Gallagher. Gallagher goes away now to Pauliak, I should say. Now with Yaxley. Goes away to Gallagher down the line, looking for Niakev. And in the end, it goes all the way back to Cox. So Guy Bates, Kane Goodchild, the goal scorers. Adamstown got us underway with a Guy Bates little chip from probably on the edge of the 18. And then Kane Goodchild went down the right side and struck a right foot shot into the left corner to get Hamilton's goal count started for the evening. And that goal that Guy Bates did score, the first goal this year that Hamilton Olympic have conceded. Niakev charging over after Swan there. A whistle from the referee. Is there going to be a card? Looks like there's going to be. There is. So a card for Niakev. Aaron Niakev. We've got a bit of fog coming over the ground now. Bit of a low mist here at Adamstown Oval. It's a foggy morning yesterday. I wasn't out and about this morning, so I don't know how it was this morning, but definitely yesterday it was. That low mist coming down. Looking across the ground now. And now with Karotkic. Kenneth now with a booming ball forward. Clements. If you missed it and you just joined us, Dan Clements with a challenge about 5 minutes ago, saving a certain goal. Reece Cooper with a right foot shot. He was lining it up on the right on the angle. And he flew back from pretty much on the 18 down the other end of the ground, flying across the ground to make that challenge. Big moment in the game, you'd have to say. Hamilton really dominating the opening, probably 10 minutes of both halves. Adamstown getting the first one against the runner play, Guy Bates, and then Adamstown probably dominating the next little bit, and Hamilton getting a goal. So the side that's been dominating field position hasn't necessarily scored from that and taken advantage. And then the early part of this half was all Hamilton. And it's pretty even. So about his Carter going up, the header going wide. And the other news from this one is that Danny Ireland not in goals for Hamilton tonight. Josh Cox. Scott Carter with a poor goal kick there, straight over the sideline. Josh Cox in goals for them. And he has been pretty good tonight. He's had big shoes to fill. As you know, Danny Ireland, of course, almost moving to Sydney last year from the Jaffers. Brad Swancott going from Hamilton to the Jaffers, and Ireland in the end going from the Jaffers to Hamilton. He's Goodchild now, down the right. Another one of the veterans of the competition, Gary Kenneth, looking down the line. Hamilton, you'd have to say, would have one of the oldest rosters in the comp. Swan goes down. And a throw is the only decision from the referee. So a late charge here from either side. Can we see a goal which will put them in front? As it currently stands, Hamilton in second, Adamstown back in ninth. Both tipped to come in the top 4 at the start of the season, along with the Magic from Broadmeadow and the Lambton Jaffers. So not a position that Adamstown will be accustomed to seeing themselves, but that early round match, that second round match where they had 6 players out, 6 first-choice players out against Charlestown. It's always hard when you have that amount of players out. Gary Kenneth had a little bit of a push there on it was Jamie Burns on this near right-hand edge. Throw going the way of Hamilton now. Swan. Matt Swan with the throw. Goes back for Tom Davies. Tom Davies steps. Goes down the line towards Jamie Burns with a high foot. And it's a free kick going the way of Hamilton. Well, Jamie Burns here. So what's... Just trying to check what's happened here. Jamie Burns with the high foot. I've actually had a pole obscuring my view. So I saw the high foot from Burns and I didn't see what else went on. So the free kick in the end goes to Hamilton. Yells from the crowd for get him off, which is probably what happens at most grounds when you see something like that happen. But was never going to be no card at all from the referee. He's done a very good job tonight. He was up at Western sitting in front of us, the ref out here tonight in this one. Doing a bit of a rating on the referees of that game. And he's done well tonight. Ball now with Reese Cooper. Definitely the temperature heating up a bit here tonight at Adamstown Oval. Heating up with the fog drifting over the ground. Hopefully we'll be able to see from one end to the other at the end of the game. Here's Goodchild looking through for Burns. Adamstown do well again at the back. Through now towards Nearkev from Gallagher. But it's been turned over to Olympic, to Swan. Cooper falls over, tries not to handball it. And now it's Gary Kenneth. Gary Kenneth, lovely skill going down the left. Now the ball with Paul. Paul, he's got a man in front of him, which is the captain Campbell. Does well to get a foot in, but it ricochets to Guy Bates on the left. He holds it up, slows it down, tries to play it inside. And Hamilton have the ball back. Reese Cooper, he's got space. This time he goes down the middle, and there's no one there apart from 2 Adamstown players, and Scott Carter has the ball at his feet now. Great to have you with us tonight here on Bar TV. Ben Homer in the commentary box. 28 and a half gone in the second half. Or, if you like it the other way, 73 and a half gone. Reese Cooper. Some speedy runs early on in the first half. Playing it wide now for Swan. Getting his foot on the ball. Now with Paul. Harrison making a run down the left now. Kenneth looking up for him. Or putting a ball over the top. Davies came in. Free kick goes the way of Adamstown. So a point for each side, especially for Adamstown, doesn't do too much for them in the grand old scheme of things. Adamstown with a goal difference of -2. Hamilton Olympic with a goal difference of +2. So you'd have to see a 2-goal turnaround tonight for both to be level. 2-goal win to Adamstown. And then it would be, just trying to do my maths, it would be Adamstown who would be ahead on goals scored. Gary Kenneth now on the ball. Looking over towards Nearkev. Nearkev gets up and wins the free kick. A little bit of a foot on to him. Of course, I should mention that great thing to get involved with this Nepal earthquake. I'll just talk about after this next free kick. Bates with a little bit of a clip and goes over into the awaiting arms of Josh Cox in goals. a charity which you could donate to. Great charity which is based here in Newcastle. Jodie Tweed, who of course was the main organiser and setter-upper of the Lake Macquarie International Children's Games, if I can use that word. She did everything, absolutely everything to do with that, and did a fantastic job. But her charity, Hope Alliance, is in desperate need of some sponsorship. So if you go onto their Facebook page, just go into Facebook, type in Hope Alliance, and you can go to get a link to their GoFundMe account, and you can donate some money. They're looking for 20,000. They're already up to 16,670, and that was raised by 123 people in the last 10 days. So Hope Alliance on Facebook. They've had a lot of issues today. They've had a lot of issues after the Nepalese earthquake with their buildings where this charity, Hope Alliance, is situated, has been destroyed, and a lot of their young people are unable to have this housing. So it'd be great if you could donate onto that. Hope Alliance, looking for the $20,000 and currently just a little bit off. They're 16,670. So just get onto that facebook.com and type in Hope Alliance, and you can get the link there. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, you can get that up. So that's fantastic. Fantastic charity to get along with, but we'll go back onto this game. Here goes Bates. He looks a back post. Oh, ball from Paul, looking for the back stick. In the end, it's run over the byline. A little bit far from Pavel Pauliak on the far side. And it's going to be a goal kick now for Josh Cox. Looking long, Kenneth with the header. Guy Bates going up, charging after it is Paul. What can he do? He tries to cut it back. Swan does well, trying to sweep it away. Up the line now with Harrison. Harrison to Pauliak. Now it's with Clements. Clements looking wide for Yaxley. Yaxley further on, ball put back in the middle. Yaxley after it. And now it's with Swan. Swan down the right. Looks up and finds Bailey, but Bailey's turned it over to Pauliak. Looks down the line for Yaxley, couldn't get a foot to it. Hamilton with the interception. Both sides looking for that goal. Free kick to Hamilton. And a card comes out. Yep, another one. And it's for Chris Dale. So 2 yellow cards now for Adamstown, 1 for Olympic. A little bit of tension creeping into the back half of the game with 12 minutes to go in this round 3 catch-up match. The only match going ahead from that round was the Edgeworth Magic game, which was a 4-0 win for Magic. They did the job quite convincingly. They've played pretty well over the opening 3 rounds. Broadmeadow Magic announced themselves as the team to beat once again. Pauliak looking long for Guy Bates. Has he got the speed to evade Davies? You wouldn't think so. He plays it back inside. Nikolkev, great work in the end from Mason Campbell, the captain, getting back, and that's another big moment. We saw Dan Clements with the defence from Adamstown, and then Mason Campbell right there. Guy Bates isn't going to get there, and we've got a free kick for Hamilton, almost into the last 10. Here on Bar TV. Big weekend coming up on Bar TV. Remember, this Sunday, here comes Mason Campbell off the ground. Big round of applause for him. And Kyle Hodges comes on. He's going to come up like Mason Campbell was awesome tonight. Michael Bolch would be very impressed with his... So Kyle Hodges on, Mason Campbell. Terrific performance from him tonight. Ball looking, Gary Kenneth wins everything in the air, doesn't he? And now the ball is back with Bailey. After him is the other number 8, Pauliak. And the clearance from Yaxley is ricocheted off Serapar from Hamilton Olympic, and a throw going the way of Adamstown. Adamstown Oval tonight, the venue for this one. Probably doesn't really matter where this one's played, at Darling Street or Hamilton Olympic, but at Darling Street or here at Adamstown, because they're so close. Darling Street just over the road. And now with Swan back to Cooper, looking back post. Here's a chance for Hamilton, looking for Goodchild. He's already got one tonight. Can he spin? Goodchild, he hits it. Oh, Kane Goodchild. He does it again. Kane Goodchild, he did it for Charlestown, and he's done it again for Hamilton Olympic. Charlestown didn't lose a game last year when he scored, and Hamilton, if it stays the same tonight, will keep that record alive in 2015. Kane Goodchild with all the time in the world to spin and turn and shoot into the top right corner. And Adamstown now with a lot to do in the final 9 minutes. They're going to have to throw caution to the wind. Bates looking long now. Looking very long. Coming out is Cox, and it's had to be put over the sideline. So Olympic. 1 to the good, 2-1 up at Adamstown Oval. And that'll break the trend for the opening matches that these two have played. He's a long bomb. Oh, gee whiz, it wasn't far off. It was probably on target in the end. Josh Cox, hands above his head, and made a good save. But the two matches they have played, these two sides, previous to this in the NPL, the home side has won each. So is this going to break the trend? Jamie Burns. Can he find Goodchild in the middle? No, Gary Kenneth there again. In the end, the Adamstown defence really just too slow to shut down Goodchild. He had all the time in the world to control the ball. Now with Clements. Oh, he said the ball nicked from him. He makes a challenge on Cooper. And now with just 7.5 to go, Adamstown scoring the first goal tonight through Guy Bates. They've got a lot to do. And I was saying before, this Sunday live on Bar TV from 2:30 p.m. It's a local derby, a big one, a Hunter Valley derby. It's Maitland and Western. That's going to be an absolute cracker. And join us there, as I said, from 2:30 p.m. The newcomers against the stalwarts. Not a great start to the year, of course. A week of turmoil this week for Maitland, losing their coach, Chris Turner, and Reece Thompson announced today as their manager for the remainder of the season, which is a blow for Hamilton in their first year in the top flight since 2003. Nearkev going to have to find something now for Adamstown. They've only made the one change, going down the far side of the ground. Is Ham, I should say. Ham's come on, so they made a couple of changes. Have the Rosebuds. Here's a shot. Oh, it's off the post. Oh, luck's a fortune for Olympic. And it was that man, Dan Clements, over the head of Cox again. He might be having nightmares tonight, Josh Cox, over balls flying over his head. The first goal from Guy Bates went sailing over his head, and that one again. Gee, that was very, very close to levelling it all up. And now almost into the last 5 minutes of the game. So pressure, there's a bit of early pressure on Adamstown coach Graham Law. Here's a ball looking straight to Scott Carter, of course. Only the 1 point from the opening 3 games. They did get the win at Charlestown at Lyle Carr, a 5-1 win. So it'll be interesting to see how his side responds to this deficit they now face themselves with. They've got enough time. Can they create a chance now with Harrison to Bates? Bates, good control. He's been brilliant in that regard tonight. Grabbed a goal, but Kane Goodchild's been even better. He's grabbed 2. And there's a throw which hasn't been controlled by Harrison. Goes over the byline and a goal kick for Josh Cox. So 85 gone. It's Adamstown 1, Hamilton 2. Round 3 catch-up match here on Bar TV. Great to have your company tonight. Ben Homer with you on the commentary box. Blake will be back in on hand on Sunday for that big local derby. He's just doing some work at the Western South Cardiff game tonight. So it'll be interesting to see the result there. In the end, of course, South Cardiff, the kings of the comeback over the opening 2 rounds. This is another long-range effort. It's not going to trouble Cox over. And another chance goes begging for Adamstown. Of course, South Cardiff down 2-0 against Maitland in round 1 and then 3-1 against the Jets Youth in round 2. So wonder if the same story is being painted tonight in front of hopefully a big crowd at Ulinga Oval. Crowd tonight's been very, very good at Adamstown Oval. Nice crowd for a midweek fixture and great for everyone viewing online at the moment. It's terrific to have you all viewing this wonderful Bar TV coverage. As now with Yaxley trying to go down the right. Hopefully for the Adamstown handle. Yaxley goes down. Would be on the edge of the penalty area, just outside. Hard to see the lines from here. Here's a yellow card going to Swan, I believe. It's Andrew Swan. And a win tonight for Hamilton Olympic would take them on to equal points with Broadmeadow Magic, who are in first place on the ladder. But it wouldn't take them over the top unless they managed a few more goals. Magic with a +7 differential and currently with the live ladder. Hamilton only with a +3. Here's Guy Bates looking back, stick up, they rise. Goes this shot, well blocked in the end. Went as far as Ham. Now it's with Dale. Dale looking away towards Harrison, who was, I think, offside because he sort of stopped down the line. Kenneth. Now it's for Cooper. Long ball, big chance. Here comes, he's tripped over and Cardis tripped over and slipped as well. And now it's with Swan. There's no one in goals. There's a foul. Swan's shot goes wide. Carter's not happy. He's blowing up at the referee. I don't know what's going on, but there's a free kick going the way of Adamstown. I'll give you that much. And it's going to be Gary Kenneth to take it. He looks long and wide, and Harrison keeps it inside. Hamilton fans are up. They thought it went out. Down the line for Goodchild, the star of the show tonight. Not the conductor, but definitely the star. I think we'll leave that to Mason Campbell. Here's Niakev. Good interception. Looks wide for Guy Bates. Guy Bates, can he get to it in time? It's running towards the byline, and it beats him. And it's going to be a goal kick for Cox. So we're into the last 2 minutes of regulation time. 88.5 gone. It's Adamstown 1, Hamilton 2 on Bar TV. It's been a tight and tense affair. If you've just joined us, Kane Goodchild. The name on everyone's lips after tonight. Guy Bates in the first half got Adamstown off to a flyer. They led 1-0 early. And then the Kane Goodchild show rolled into town. Goal in the first and second half, giving Adamstown the lead. And we're entering the last minute of regulation time, so the pressure right on Adamstown. And remember, those post-match interviews with both coaches will go up on the Bar TV YouTube channel either tonight or tomorrow morning. So we'll get those up ASAP. Interesting to hear what both coaches say, especially Graham Law. Here's a ball through Burns. He's offside. The flag's up anyway. So no need to worry about that. And Adamstown, well, that hasn't been taken from the spot. And Scott Carter's going to put it there now, and we're going to play on now, quickly, looking along towards Guy Bates. Bates tries to control. He had a foot all over him, and he's won the foul. So Guy Bates wins the free kick. Definitely was a free kick. All over him in the end at the back. I think it was Hodges. So interesting to see how much added time there is. Guy Bates with a free kick again, looking towards Kenneth. Away now for Pauliak. Now with Dale. Kenneth unable to get up to that one. Near Kev. Now with Clements. Clements evading in a 1 and 2 and winning the free kick. Here we go. So this is Guy Bates' range for Adamstown. Into stoppage time in the second half. And we'll see what happens here. There's some nervous Hamilton Olympic fans all around. Can they keep that undefeated start to the year up? They should, if the ball does manage to find its way into the back of the net. Here's Guy Bates looking. Oh, what a goal that is from Guy Bates. Levelling it up. And stealing a point maybe for Adamstown tonight with a perfect right foot free kick into the top left corner. And we may have said it was the Kane Goodchild show. Well, it's been the show of the veterans tonight. And it's Guy Bates now. Keeping Adamstown in the hunt. We got a free kick. Maybe Cooper. It was Reese Cooper. May well have given the ref a gobful after that. And it's going to be the kickoff now. And Adamstown last year in the game we covered against South Cardiff, they got a late winner through Nick Bale. They won that one 3-2. And here is Kane Goodchild going for a run and winning a free kick. They're going to be frustrated here, Hamilton. Is there going to be another card? There is. There's cards galore tonight. We had none in the first half, and it's been card demonium in the second half. So a minute and a half of stoppage time gone in the second half. So can Hamilton now grab a late winner? We'll see what they can do. 2-2. Been a cracker of a match. An absolute cracker. It doesn't get much better. And a couple of goals in the last stoppage time. And now with Carter. Takes it nicely. And he goes down and, oh, there's a free kick now going the way of Adamstown. He's going to look long. And referee's whistle is blown, and that is full time on what has been a great game of football here tonight at Adamstown Oval. In the end, it's finished level. Adamstown 2, Hamilton 2 tonight in the round 3 catch-up match, which, well, tonight you'd have to say Adamstown probably will take a moral victory with that late goal, but pretty even tonight's contest. Hamilton and Adamstown, hard to split them. I said before the game, I think it was going to be a draw, and I've got that tip right. So Guy Bates and Kane Goodchild with a couple of goals each, and really the game for the old boys tonight. It was an awesome game to watch, and let's hope that this Sunday is just as good. Maitland taking on Western, and the crowd tonight as well. They were awesome too. So thanks for joining us tonight on Bar TV. I've been Ben Homer. And also for our cameraman, Jack Ancliffe. He did a terrific job tonight, and I'm sure he enjoyed it. Here is me doing the match preview for this weekend's game, so I hope you're not sick of me. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you on Sunday. This week's Bar TV NPL match of the round is going to be a mouth-watering contest. The Battle of the Hunter Valley sees Maitland take on Western at home at Cook Square Park. Over the opening few rounds of the season, Maitland have managed a draw in which they led by 2-0 and a loss, a big one at that, to Broadmeadow in round 2. On the other hand, Western have had a taste of all three worlds that you can experience in football: a draw, a loss and a win. Most recently, a 1-0 loss to the Jets youth side. So Maitland, after losing their coach recently, the question is this weekend, can they put that week of turmoil that they've had behind them? Or will Western play in that gritty, determined, normal style which we've become so accustomed to? Join us live this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on Bar TV.
This is for the players. For those that leap into battle in the blink of an eye. For the drivers that compete for their club, no matter where they are. for everyone who has triumphs, tips and tricks to share.
And for those who love to play with complete freedom, this is for the game changers, the innovators. This is for the players. This is PS4.
It's been a tough few weeks in the Hunter, a few weeks that have now become etched into our history.
Homes that have been lost in this. There's obviously a number of roofs that have been taken off, and we've also lost life. It is a huge storm event that is wreaking havoc across New South Wales at the moment.
Yet through the driving rain, the gale force winds and the floodwaters, an army of people have assembled to ensure the Hunter region is returned to normality.
This is a weather event that has come upon us. It is more severe than was probably anticipated.
Whether it be the countless SES volunteers, both locally or from interstate, that dropped everything to tie down tarpaulins or cut away trees, or the thousands of Ausgrid workers who have worked around the clock in some of the most horrendous conditions to restore power to over 200,000 homes. The RFS, police, ambulance and Fire and Rescue New South Wales, and most importantly you, the community. And through it all, no one complained, because we all knew a story of someone who had lost more than we had, and they needed the help of the community more than we did. So here at Bar TV Sports, we want to say a massive thank you to everyone who pitched in and did their bit through one of the most testing natural disasters of recent times. Thank you.